Boise, Idaho. My name is Miles McLaughlin here at Wilco Lands. What we do is we buy and sell raw vacant land. I'm going to roll out a new property here with you. Go over what I see in the property, what I know about it. I do want to start the videos with a quick disclaimer. This isn't real estate advice. This isn't legal advice. I'm simply sharing my opinions, thoughts, and what I know about the property from my experience and my due diligence. So again, as a buyer, you're going to have to verify your own information and conduct your own feasibility to make sure every land investment you buy is going to be right for you. So getting into this, we are a small business out of South Dakota. Our mission is to offer affordable land investments out there, right? We offer seller financing terms for folks. We buy a lot of unique and epic properties in different locations across the Mountain West, the inland Northwest, and places like that. So jumping into this listing, this is in an area that's really popular. It's just to the northeast of Boise, in the mountains here. So we're talking about mountain land. There's really no restrictions out here. There are some restrictions. I'll get into that, but compared to a lot of other places, compared to the city of Boise, this is where people go, where RVs are allowed, garages, shops, things like that are allowed from my understanding. So people come out here to live that type of lifestyle, to have a little bit more of those freedoms, right? So there are no CC&Rs. There really aren't any, there aren't a lot of restrictions out here. So it's in the Clear Creek community. That name will ring a bell with a lot of people. There's like a little Clear Creek Lodge and bar, I believe, out here that's pretty popular amongst folks too. So in this video, I'm going to show you guys the location, giving you guys some good aerial imagery of the area. This is some ground shots from the property here too. So you can look through that on your own. I'm going to jump into the location here. So that's going to be my number one starting point, showing you guys how I find the location of these properties. So a lot of times vacant land won't have an address. This property is located here. I'm just pulling up the coordinates here on Google Maps. And you can see we're just outside of Boise, Idaho here, just on the edge of Boise National Forest. So jumping down here, we're off Gold Fork Ridge Road. This property comes around like this. The next thing I want to show you is this property on Onyx Maps. This is my favorite app to use for land viewings and land visits. It's going to be really helpful if you know how to use this app. I do have a blog on the blog page about how to use it. So again, we can see this property is adjacent to Johnson Creek Road, and you can even access it from this upper end too. There was, and I'll get into building and I'll get into land use here in a second. But you can see the property's, sloped, and we have it priced with that in mind. We are sitting on a slope, but so is this guy. I'm just kind of going to zoom into this person who developed on this property. So they've got like a framed out home, right? So it's not impossible. Like, look at this driveway coming up here. So, there's definitely an opportunity to maybe develop a shop, a garage, maybe just an RV site. Maybe you just want to level out an area and run power to the property and have an RV site up in the woods. So at the price we're offering, it is really an affordable opportunity to get into this market. So camping and RVs are allowed. If you are just looking for a camping site, this isn't a bad one either. There's power in the area. So you can see all these neighbors have power and stuff. That would be the least of my worries is power. Because if we look at the photos too, going back up to them, I think I saw power lines right here. So power is going to be the least of your worries. So if you're looking to build, if you're looking to develop, you're going to have to think about a septic system. There's no city utilities out here, right? There's no sewage system. So you can't plug into sewage. Maybe someday down the road there is, but right now it'd be a septic system. This property has some old documents on it. And our sales team can share this with you. This was a long time ago, though. See, back in 1996, the owner of this property must have went through some sort of single-family new development. They went through the process with Boise County, it looks like, in Idaho. It's kind of chicken scratches, but if you really zoom in, it talks about, the wells are around 100 feet maybe. That's kind of how I interpret that side. It gives you sewage system minimum specs, right? Tank size, max bedroom, max depth, bottom of system, 4 feet, disposal type trench, dimensions. So it talks about this stuff and it gives you a few notes. It's all well 100 feet from the drain field. Gosh, it's tough to read, isn't it? But it looks like it was approved. So he's got even a drawing right here too. If you want this document, here's Aspen Ridge Road. This septic might have to be pumped. I think it says septic might have to be pumped, to obtain 100 feet from creek, depending on some sort of location, depending on a house location, I think it says there. So there's Johnson Creek Road. you've got this document. It expired. At one point, it was approved, right, for a septic system. Those expire after 12 months, I believe, in Boise County. Anyhow, this is back from 1996, it looks like. But yes, this isn't valid today, but it is a good sign that at one point it passed a perk test for a septic system. So when we talk about getting a septic system in for this property, whether you want maybe a shop with a living quarters up top or some sort of little rental home, or a place to live in, you have an opportunity to potentially have a septic system. Obviously, no seller is going to guarantee that with you until you go through the process. But that's all really good news. These are data points that we're putting together to make an educated land investment. So the last thing I want to do, I talked about the location. If you want to read more about the zoning, it's zoning multiple use. I have the zoning website right here. Go ahead and sift through this. You can read through the land use if you want. Like I said, camping and RVs are allowed. It's a potential candidate to be built on. It's a potential candidate for a shop or a garage, something of that nature, right? Easy to access. I recommend using Onyx Maps. Last thing I want to show you is the property on Google Earth. So I've got it highlighted here. We have a link to this on the website. So you can see all this. You can see, you have an access point from up top here. You have an access point from here. Property needs a driveway. It needs a little bit of dirt work before you start RVing and stuff like that. Get out there and camp if you want in the meantime. But it will take a little bit of dirt work on the property. And, in our opinion, we have it priced with all of that in mind. This is the cheapest deal you can get up here in Clear Creek, Idaho. So I'll just pull it up on Zillow just to give you guys an idea of the market. This is an easy place to look. You can go on other sites like LandWatch too, but this is Clear Creek up here. You can see, I think the cheapest listing, if I go low to high, is 85 grand for kind of a property pretty similar to ours, pretty sloped in kind of this valley. It is a little bit larger, but I mean, that's our comparison. If we're in the business of selling land, if somebody likes a property we're advertising, we're open to offers. We do offer seller financing and things like that too. So just get with me if you have any questions. Like I said, I think this area gets quite a bit of activity on their listings too. Been on the market just 5 days with 4 saves. So again, you can read more about these listings too. A lot of times these local realtors will write in here and talk about, the area, essentially Clear Creek community. So yeah, it's got the lodge to unwind and relax. So that's it for me right now. I've got other listings in Idaho on the website. I've got stuff in Montana. Take a peek at the homepage if you're in the market for land. Give us a call if you have questions, 605-299-5553. Thanks for tuning in.